You know that feeling when your mind just drags up something that still hurts? Right in the middle of an ordinary moment. You're fine, genuinely fine. And then this old thought taps you on the shoulder and your whole mood shifts before you've even figured out why. Maybe it was a comment someone made months ago. The moment passed, life kept going. But somewhere your brain filed it away as unfinished. And tonight, for no clear reason, it decides to hand it back to you like it happened an hour ago. And now you're watching the whole scene replay. What was said? What you wish you'd said instead? What they probably meant by it? The longer it loops, the more convincing it gets. So why does the mind do this? Why dig up something painful when all you wanted was a quiet evening? So, stick around. We're going to talk about why these thoughts resurface, what makes them get louder over time, and how you can gently break the cycle before it eats up more than a few minutes of your day. Here's the assumption most of us make without realizing it. The thought keeps coming back because there's still something to solve. So the mind dives in again, digging through the memory, hunting for the one detail that'll finally make it click. Then the questions start. Does it still sting? Was it actually that bad? Am I making too much of this? Could I have handled it better? 20 minutes later, that same thought is still spinning, and here's the strange part. Nothing new has come from it. Your mind feels busy. It feels like you're getting somewhere. Mostly, though, you're just walking in circles. And every lap you take, your brain pays a little more attention to it. The thought starts to feel important, simply because you keep responding to it. It's really how a single memory turns into a habit. It shows up. It stirs something uncomfortable, and your mind rushes in to smooth it over, replaying the scene, hunting for reassurance, going over it one more time until the edges feel a little less sharp. You might feel a flicker of relief, but your brain remembers the routine. It quietly learns that whenever this thought shows up, everything else needs to pause until it's dealt with. So the next time it knocks, the pull to answer it is even stronger. This is also why some thoughts just hit harder than others. A passing thought drifts through and leaves on its own, but a memory tangled up with fear or shame or regret or just plain uncertainty, that one tends to stick around. Your mind starts treating it like a loose thread that needs tying off. And the more you walk that same mental path, the more familiar and easier to fall into it becomes. So maybe the real question isn't, why did this come back? Maybe it's, what usually happens right after it shows up? Because that's the part that actually shapes things. What you do next can either let the thought settle and fade, or teach your brain all over again that it deserves your full attention right now. And that's exactly where we're headed next. What actually helps in the moment, what quieter patterns might be keeping this loop alive, and what to do when it's gotten loud enough to mess with your sleep and your day. So what actually helps when the thought shows up? Start by asking yourself something simple. Is there anything real to do here? Not every thought deserves another hour of your headspace. Sometimes there's a message to send, a decision waiting, something that genuinely needs your attention. If that's the case, pick one clear step, write it down, and set a time to deal with it. Then let it go. That's the thing about action. It has an ending. Rumination usually doesn't. But some thoughts just don't come with a fix. The conversation already happened. The mistake is done. Whatever answer you're chasing might never show up. And that's exactly where the mind gets stuck. Treating the thought like a puzzle that'll finally give you peace, if only you turn it over enough times. There's another layer to a lot of this too, and it's anxiety. The memory itself might be painful, but what keeps yanking you back is usually the feeling wrapped around it. That tightness in your chest. The need to know for certain. The sense that something has to be resolved before you're allowed to relax. When anxiety's the one driving breathing exercises, grounding, meditation, these can help bring the volume down. They won't erase the thought. What they do is give your body a chance to stop reacting like the memory is happening all over again. And once that reaction eases up a little, it gets easier to tell whether something truly needs your attention, or whether the thought is just asking for one more lap. For some people, that's enough. For others, the thoughts come in louder. They show up mid-task, at 2 a.m., right when your mind's supposed to be somewhere else entirely. Pushing them away doesn't work. Swapping them out for a different thought doesn't either. Even reasoning your way through it might only buy you a few quiet minutes. And slowly, little routines start forming around the thought. checking old messages, asking someone to reassure you, avoiding anything that touches the memory, running it through your head again and again until it finally feels settled. That relief might last 60 seconds, but your brain remembers it happened. For a smaller group of people, this pattern grows into something more, part of what's known as OCD, obsessive-compulsive disorder. Now, that doesn't mean every intrusive or upsetting thought is OCD, not even close. What sets it apart is usually the cycle itself. The thought sparks real anxiety, and the person feels pulled to do something, physically or mentally, just to bring that anxiety back down. One approach used for this is called ERP, exposure and response prevention. The idea is gradual. You learn to sit with the discomfort and the not knowing without slipping straight into the checking, the reassurance seeking, the avoiding, the mental ritual that usually follows. Bit by bit, the brain starts learning something new. The thought can just be there without you having to decide what happens next. And honestly, that might be the hardest part of all this. Most of us treat discomfort like a problem to solve. Something feels off and the mind goes hunting for a fix, an explanation, anything to make the feeling disappear. But not every thought needs closure. Some just need less attention. That doesn't mean pretending the memory never happened. It means noticing the moment reflection stops being useful and starts being repetition. The thought might come back tomorrow. It might catch you at a bad time again. Progress isn't reaching some point where nothing uncomfortable ever crosses your mind. It's getting quicker at spotting the loop and choosing not to hand it the rest of your day. So I'm curious about you. When a thought gets stuck in your head, what usually happens next? Do you write it down? Talk to someone? Go for a walk? Or does it just play on repeat until you're wiped out? No need for a perfect answer. I'd genuinely love to know what this looks like for you. If you made it this far, drop a comment and tell me how you deal with repetitive thoughts. What actually helps? And what have you tried that did nothing? Someone reading it might realize they're not the only one dealing with this. And while you're here, a like, a subscribe, maybe that notification bell, it genuinely helps this kind of content reach the people who need it. Your mind will probably bring the thought back. That's fine. You don't have to follow it through the door every single time.